Hey, welcome to my first video in 2022. My name is Chris Miller, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I wanted to kick the new year off with a new Mac tutorial on how to get set up as a developer using Next.js and WordPress. Now, we're simply just going to get from 0 to 100 in terms of getting some of the essentials installed. And we won't be diving in this video into Next.js or WordPress, just simply how can we get those up and running on a brand new Mac. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the prerequisite here. We will make mistakes in this video. And the intention here isn't to show you exactly a list or a rundown of all the items. There are some bare essentials, but I can guarantee you, I'm pretty sure that along the way, we're going to get some prompts and some messages in terminal that's going to instruct us on maybe something else that we will need to install, a dependency of some sort. So let's get started. We're going to go into this list here. We're going to first download Xcode. We're going to download Node, download Git, and then hopefully we're going to try to install Next.js after that and see if we've met the requirements. And then we'll download local WP and get up and running there. Now, some of you might be wondering why download Xcode. If you've set up a Mac before and you've tried to maybe run Git or maybe run some other types of command line interfaces, they'll typically say, hey, download Xcode. And for this video, because Xcode takes a while to download, I went ahead and downloaded that ahead of time. So you're not going to see that in this video. But from here on out, this is live, and everything that we're about to install is on a brand new Mac. So let's go ahead and get started. What do we have here? We have Node. Okay, so let's jump into Chrome, get out of full screen there, and we're going to Google Node.js. Now, what I would encourage you to do is download the I believe LTS stands for long-term support. And that is probably going to fare better for you in most situations, depending on what you're working with. Now, if you're new and just getting started, I would highly encourage going that route. But if you like the bleeding edge and like to live on the edge, go ahead and go the current route. So we're going to go ahead and download 16.13.1. I went ahead and click to launch the installer there, and we're going to hit continue. Yes, I read everything. Continue. Agree. And we're going to go ahead and install. So need the password. And while that's installing, let's go ahead and take a look at what else we had. We had Git. Now, Git might come with Xcode. I'm not sure. One thing that's not in this list is Homebrew, which is a lifesaver when it comes to installing things like Git and other types of command line interface packages and other packages in general for the Mac. All right, I'm wondering, so this is an issue that we might be facing here. Typically, this would have already been completed by now. Let's check our security system preferences. Okay, we're not getting any messages here yet. Go ahead and unlock that just in case. All right, what is taking so long? All right, let's give that a minute to complete, and let's go to local WP. All right, so if we Google local WP, we're going to get this top link here. It is an open source tool for developing WordPress sites on your local computer. It was originally developed by an open source team that was that had been bought out then by by Flywheel, or I'm sorry, that dropped the local. Flywheel is a hosting company who had bought the local platform out. And then so, yeah, you can click here, download for free. And yep, we're going to download for a Mac. You can download for Windows and Linux there. And it wants me to fill in some information there. Let me make sure. Whoop. Yeah, okay. And I'm not going to fill in the phone number there. All right, download's getting started. Great. All right, now I clicked the launch installer there. It says click and drag local right over to the folder, which we just did. We heard the little bong sound. Go ahead and close that out. We can now click and drag this down to the trash can, which is going to eject that little installer there. And something definitely is up here with Node.js. So we're going to come back and take a look at that in just a minute. Close out of that. Let's go ahead and bring up our Spotlight search, and we're going to type in local. And looks like our top hit there is our app local. It is asking us to open local. To open local, you will need to install Rosetta. Do you want to install it now? Yes, we do. Okay, so because we are on, yes, here's the password. Because we are on a new MacBook M1, it appears that some of the software that we are installing is not built or optimized for M1 yet. And then so Rosetta needs to be installed to run some of the software that had been built for Intel-based Macs. That also might be the reason why Node.js is not installing. I'm not sure, but we are going to find out. Go ahead and empty the trash can there. All right, let's try to relaunch local. All right, yep, we're going to open. Move this over here. All right. Yes, again, we've read it all. No, we have not. All right, turn on error reporting. No, we don't want to do that at this time. Welcome to local. It's going to give us a walkthrough here, and we can learn more if we want to, but we're going to go ahead and skip that. And I'm wondering if we can skip the create a free account by hitting the close there. Great, we can. That's awesome. And now we're able to create a new local WordPress site for tinkering or developing or building before you want to take this thing live. Now, just because the local software is open sourced and free from Flywheel doesn't necessarily mean you have to host your WordPress site on Flywheel. You can host it anywhere you would like. So we're just going to call this test site. We're going to skip over advanced options for now, hit continue. We're going to go preferred with PHP 7.3, which there's newer versions of PHP, which we could upgrade to. We'll run MySQL version 8 there, and our web server is going to be Nginx. Continue. Warning, never use this as your real thing here, but we're just going to do admin. We'll leave their Flywheel email address there for now. Hit add site. And so what's happening now behind the scenes is I'm pretty sure that this is built on Electron and then Docker's running behind the scenes. But it's spinning up a Docker container. I'm pretty certain. Downloading WordPress, installing WordPress, getting the MySQL database up and running and configured. And then so now, we're going to hit X on that for now. We should be able to click Open Site. And that's going to launch in our preferred browser. And there you have it. There is a brand new WordPress site. That is the front end. If we want to look at the back end and log in as an admin, we'll use that login we just created. We'll click login and voila. We are up and running with, up and running with WordPress. So that's it. That's it to get up and running with WordPress on your local machine. Now, for those of you who've been around the block for a while using WordPress, it wasn't always this easy. Having to use software like MAP and then configuring everything by hand definitely was a bit of a pain. Now, some developers would prefer to use, why am I having a moment here? Would prefer to use Docker and a YAML file to set a lot of this up, and those are great options and choices too. And you'll learn in later videos a little bit more about local WP and why I enjoy it and prefer it for our teams. But let's push on. We're going to close local WP now. Yep, we're going to spin everything down. Great. Okay, now let's go ahead and we can't close or we can't cancel this. So we're going to go ahead and try to do Command Q. It says the installer is busy. We're going to say OK. And then now I'm going to do an Option Command Escape. And we are going to kill this installer. We're going to do a force quit. All right. And let's try to relaunch Node one more time. All right. All right. We're going to throw in the password one more time. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to jump on old trusty Google. I'm going to close out a few of these tabs here. And let's see, Node will not install on a M1 MacBook. Installing Node.js on Mac OS Apple Silicon. All right, so they are giving us instructions here for installing Xcode. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this command. This is getting back to the Xcode bit that I was talking about earlier. Let's go ahead and kill this again. Force quit. Let's open up terminal. I'm going to go ahead and blow this up for you all. We're going to paste in that command, hit enter. We got to put in our password for the computer. And Xcode select command requires the command line developer tools. Would you like to install the tools now? Yes, install. Good grief, Charlie Brown. All right, so this is the part that might, yes, I agree. Yeah, we're going to continue on battery power. We're good. We're rocking out. We're all right. We're all right. This is the part that can take a bit. It says, ooh. All right. I don't know how much I trust this, but let's see what else is on our list while we're waiting on that. All right. We have, again, I think Git is, well, Git may or may not come down with Xcode. I'm not quite sure. We can go ahead and move forward with Homebrew. assuming that we're going to need that to install some additional packages. So we'll click Homebrew. All right, and they advertise themselves as the missing package manager for Mac OS or Linux. So let's go ahead and install Homebrew. We're going to copy this command there, and we're going to paste that right in. All right, check it for sudo access, which may request your password. The following directories will be created. So Homebrew is going to install itself. The Xcode command line tools will be installed. Okay, so seems like Homebrew, maybe that should have been our first step, and then Homebrew would have prompted us to download the Xcode command line tools. Okie dokes. All right, let's come back to this after the Xcode command line tools has finished downloading and installing, and we'll pick back up here in just a second. All right, and we're back. It looks like that the Xcode command line tools have been installed. So we're going to click done on that. And we were in the middle of installing Homebrew. So we're going to go ahead and hit return and give it our password there. All right, and it is downloading the goods. Okay, so had to put this on pause for a second to do several Google searches. One article mentioned running brew install node. We're going to give this a whack. No. All right, we missed a pretty important step here, and I warned you we were going to make some mistakes along the way. So I failed to read the next steps of what Homebrew told us. So here it says, run these commands in your terminal to add Homebrew to your path. All right. So let's go ahead and see if we can just copy the entire line there, and we're going to paste it in. All right, and now let's try to just run brew, and it looks like it works. Great. Okay, so I'm going to hit the up arrow a couple of times to a previous command that I pasted in from an article that mentioned trying to install Node through Homebrew for the newer M1 Mac. So we're going to go ahead and try to do this. This might take a while, so we'll probably skip forward. All right, looks like it is done now. So again, in the spirit of this video, we're going to move fast and break things. So let's go ahead and try to get Next.js going. We're going to go to the I always do that. Why do I do that? Next.js. All right, and we're going to jump to the documentation. Getting started. Let's get in here. System requirements. Yep. All right, so let's try to run. I'm going to zoom in for us here. Hit clear. npx create next app at latest. Let's see if we get an error. Need to install the following packages. Create next at latest. Okay. Yes. What is your project name? We're just going to hit enter for my app. Create a new Next.js app under my home folder / my app. Using npm, installing dependencies. Great. We got React, React DOM, and next. All right. Okay, looks like it's done. So success. It wants us to go inside the directory and run some of these commands. So let's do cd my-app, and we're going to run npm run dev. See if that will get us going. All right, and let's go ahead and visit the local host. There we go. Welcome to Next.js. And before we wrap up this video, there's one more thing that we will want to install, and that is Git. So I'm going to hit Control C to quit that and clear our terminal. Now, again, I mentioned earlier that Git may have been installed along with Xcode command line tools. So we can check by just simply typing in Git. And there you have it. Git appears to already be installed, so we didn't have to do anything. Whether that comes with Xcode command line tools or whether that's already baked into the new Macs, not 100% certain. But we've now got the bare essentials of what we will need, minus a code editor, to get up and running and get to developing. Hope this was helpful. And again, the goal of this video was to make mistakes, try to backtrack to figure out why are these mistakes made. Some of it can either be moving quickly, some of it can be not planned, but the more important thing is how do you isolate, how do you go back and double check what is occurring, what is the error, and then read the instructions and follow along. If you can nail that down, that is going to help you out tremendously in your career as a developer, because the world isn't perfect. It's okay to Google things, and it's okay to be wrong, and it's okay to make mistakes and fail. It's just how do you recover from that and move forward, okay? All right. Thanks so much. Happy New Year.